morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, coming to you from the Beehive at cubiesquest.com. There's a lot of noise going on in the background today, and I'm sorry for that. I never know when the people that come to do our lawn are going to be here, and this morning they're here and they're trimming our bushes and they're right outside my window. So I apologize for the noise, but I think we're just gonna go ahead and go for it because everyone knows I do Facebook Live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. So it's just the best thing to just go ahead and do it. But anyway, I'm happy to be here. Today is Casing Tuesday, and today we are casing a card out of the catalog. And what we do with that card is we look at it and we take it and we make it our own. You can also take the card and just recreate it. Just in the act of recreating a card, you are learning. So it's a good learning thing, even for people like me who've been stamping for over a decade. It's a great way to have a starting point for a card so that you don't spend a lot of time just, getting started. Look at a card in the catalog and then see what you can do with it. But in this case, Casing Tuesday, we were very specifically taking a card out of the catalog, and we all case that card. And the neat thing about this is we have a Facebook group where you can join us. You can do the same thing and you can share with us and everyone else that's on the group. So it's great because it's not just me, it's all of you as well. And if you look in the description of this video, you will see the link to that group. And if you say join later on today, Kalina or I will get you onto that group, approve your membership, and you'll be able to join us and see what else everyone's posting. It's kind of eye-opening to see what other people do with the same card that you have. I am going to take a quick moment. I'm just going to scroll and see who's joined me and say hello to everyone at the same time. Let's see. Hello, Catherine. I see you're here. Good morning, Janine. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Janet. And so thank you all for being here, and I hope you can bear with the noise in the background. I'm going to flip you around now so that we can look and so I can show you what I'm doing. So let me do a little flip. Okay, there's my view today. It's a cloudy day, but and a little drizzly, but not too bad. I actually really love Boston summers. Okay, let me see if I can get this situated so it's straight and not moving. Okay, so let me hold this up to the camera. This is the card that we're casing today. This one right here. It's on page 129 of the annual catalog, and it is a very pink card. And I love pink, but I didn't want to do the same thing. And then this, I forget what this die is out of. It's that one with all the pretty little die cut pieces, and I have really a hard time remembering names when I'm supposed to. But it's a really pretty piece, but it was a little bit, once you take all the pieces out, like the kind of the doily edges of this piece, there isn't a lot of room to stamp on this card, so I opted to stamp on this circle. I opted to use just a plainer circle for my focal point. So my card ended up looking quite a bit different than the card in the catalog. I'm sure if you saw, my card and this card later on, you would like, those cards, don't have any connection at all because my card's so different looking. So that's what I like about Casing Tuesday. It is a way to take a card and really make it completely your own. It doesn't look like anything like the original, but I think it turned out pretty well. So this week on my blog, I am focusing on this stamp set, the mixed drink stamp set. And the thing, well, there's two things I really like about this stamp set. It has images and it has matching greetings, and they work really well together. So it's neat because you can build a nice note card set with it or a card set with it. And the other thing I like about it is that there's no coloring involved. All of these bold pieces fit inside the glasses, or like this little piece fits inside the lime and it fits inside the parasol. So virtually you are just stamping. So when you're doing a card with this set, the one thing I would recommend is to have more than one block to stick things on. I have about 6 of the A blocks, and I have 4 of the B and 4 of the C. For this set, it's good to have a lot of little A and B blocks, because that way you don't have to switch things off the blocks all the time. But if you didn't see my Monday note cards, I did a set on Monday, and there are so many different ways to, you know, stamp these little guys, and it's just kind of fun. And you can kind of see my inspiration for this card kind of came from this one, but they look completely different too. But this is just a really clean and simple card. And then this one I went kind of frou-frou with it. I kind of added a whole bunch of different things with it. But it's a great set, you know, for all the things that it has in it, and that's one of the reasons I chose to focus on it this week. And so it's kind of a cool set. And I will, later on this week, I have another card coming tomorrow, and then I will have my note card box up on Thursday, because I have a note card box that will match these little note cards. So that is my plan for the week. And so I thought, let's go ahead and I will show you how I made this card. Let me put these things aside. I think the best thing to start off with is to do all of our die cutting and embossing first. So let me grab my Big Shot, and we'll need, I've got all my cutting plates, and it's kind of big jumble here. All right, so this is the Big Shot platform. Let me get it set up right. And it comes in 2 pieces. So we've got the base platform that we use for embossing, and then this little piece comes on top if we're going to do die cutting. So let's do the die cutting first. And you always need cutting plates. And so I put 1 cutting plate down. I've got a square of cardstock, and I don't know, let me grab a ruler. This one measures 3 1/4 inches. And I'm going to use the largest of the circles in the stitched layers framelits, and I'm going to just cut it out. So I just center it on my piece, and then we can run this through. And that's what produces this piece right here. And I love this because it's got the little stitching. Very nice. I can set that aside. Let me shove things back through here, because I find it easier to work left to right when it comes to die cutting. Then we need to do embossing, and this is the embossing folder we're using. It's the Layered Leaves embossing folder, and this embossing folder is thicker than our regular embossing folder, so we treat it a little differently. We don't use 2 cutting plates, which is really unusual, because in the past you always need 2 cutting plates for everything. But with these embossing folders, because they're so thick, they take the place of 1 of the cutting plates. So if you get one of these folders and you're like, what, it's not fitting through my machine, take a moment, take a look. You've got 1 too many cutting plates, that's why. So I will take a piece. This is Lemon Lime Twist cardstock. It is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, and I'm just going to slip it in here just like a normal embossing folder. I try to make sure it's straight though. Okay, that looks good. Then we need to get rid of this thin die adapter piece as well, because that's only for our dies. So we're down on the base platform. I'm sticking my embossing folder right on top of that platform, and now I need 1 cutting plate. I can get rid of this other one, and then I'm just going to run this through. And that's what it looks like. And I love this because the leaves are kind of at different levels, so it's nice. It's kind of got a different look, and I thought this would kind of look like grapevine leaves, maybe not. The grapes have kind of bigger leaves, but I thought this leafy background kind of gave it a, you know, a vineyard feel to it. Sorry, the bushes are being cut right next to my window, so that's going to be a little loud for a moment. And what do I need now? So we've got my circle, my embossed layer. Let's stamp on this layer. Excuse me. I'm using my Smoky Slate ink pad. And then I'm going to use the greeting that says, "Friends don't let friends whine alone," which I love. They're kind of punny greetings. And I'm going to stamp this as low as I can get onto my circle. That way I'll have room for my 2 wine glasses. And then I want to stamp the wine glass in Smoky Slate as well. And I'm going to aim the bottom of my glass towards this don't. And then I'm going to kind of make it go up on an angle, like lean it towards up on an angle, because I think that makes it look a little better, you know, if it's kind of angled out. Oh, I might just squeak this one in. Yep, just barely. I think I did a little bit better of a job on this one, but no one's going to be able to tell unless we have the cards side by side. So, all right, then we need this little bold piece, and it gets stained if you use any ink that has kind of a reddish or purplish base. These will always get stained, but it's clean. So I'm going to take my Lemon Lime Twist ink pad and ink this up, and then I'm just going to put it right down at the bottom of the glass. And then I've got this is my cleaner. So this is our Stampin' Scrub. That's the name for it. So it's got a wet side and a dry side. So you just spray a little bit of Stampin' Mist on the side that's for wetness. The wet side has little raindrops up here in the top corner. That's how I know it's the wet side. So then I just clean it on one and dry it on the other. And then it's ready to be, the stamp is ready to be stamped in a different color, which is great because it allows me to move quickly from one color of ink to another. And you don't want to muddy your ink pads by using a stamp that isn't cleaned onto an ink pad, because that way you're going to add other colors into your ink pad. So that's not really, that will eventually make your ink pad color untrue. So this is Fresh Fig ink. And I'm going to ink this up in Fresh Fig and stamp it down right at the bottom of the glass. So that is it for the stamping. And now we just really need to put this card together. So I've got a card base cut. I'm using thick Whisper White for my card base, and I've cut this piece to 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and then I've scored it in half at the 5 1/2 inch mark. I'll see if my glue is, this one's working. This one's my older one. Let me see if I can get it going. If not, I'll have to trip across the room. Oh, we still have some life. Yay. So I'm just putting glue on the back of this embossed piece. And then I just want to make sure that I line it up with my card. Make sure it's at the bottom. Okay, like that. Then we're going to take 2 layers of cardstock, and this first layer in Fresh Fig is 2 1/4 inches by 5 inches, and then this other layer, this paper is from the Naturally Eclectic Designer Series paper pack, and I've cut this piece to 2 inches by 4 3/4 inches. Don't worry if you didn't catch the measurements, I have them on my blog. So if you look at the description of the video, up at the top, when you're watching the video, you'll see a link that takes you directly to the blog post, and it will have a list of all the supplies that I used, and it will have the measurements for each of these pieces. So I like to situate these two pieces together first before I put them on here, so I know how they're going to look together. And for that, I took a look at the photo in the catalog and I kind of mimicked it. So just put some Tombow on the back of your Designer Series paper piece. And now I'm just going to actually look at the first card I made, because it's sitting right beside me. And I am putting it on an angle, and it's not layered up perfectly because that's how the original card was. Let me bring that back in for a second. See how it was kind of skewed? So I want to kind of recreate that skewed look a little bit and not have it be perfect. And then I'm going to add that to my card. The one thing I can't forget to do with this card is to add some fresh fig ribbon. And I don't know about you, but for my ribbon, I don't like it when it like unravels in my drawer. So I use painter's tape to secure it down. So I'm just gonna take a little piece like that, and I'm gonna snip maybe 6 inches, and I'm going to fold it over on itself, and then I'm just going to kind of cut little angles on it. Not doing a very good job. There we go. And then, so I don't have this bulky loop, I'm just going to come in here and cut this in half like that. And then I'm going to stick this down here. So I'm going to use, like, you could use glue dots, which would probably have been my best bet. But I'm just going to take a piece of tear and tape for now and put this on here. Remove the backing. This is only going to stick down the first one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this up like this. Maybe move it up just a wee bit to match my other card. Stick it down. And then I can remove this other one. Oh, it's caught a little bit of the adhesive right there. Let me just grab one more little piece right here and stick it down on top of my ribbon so that this one also has more adhesive to grab onto. So like that. We won't see this part because the circle is going to cover it. So, you know, it doesn't really matter how it looks back here, but we just want to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. And since I have my tear and tape out here, and because Tombow doesn't do as well sticking with ribbon, I'm just going to go ahead and put some tear and tape on the back of here and use that to stick down my circle. The bush trimming goes on and it's so loud, but I'm sorry about that. And then we just stick this on here like that. Then we just need to do one other thing, and this little bow, you can make this with either we've got the linen thread, or you can tear off pieces off of, let me grab. So you can also grab off pieces off the burlap ribbon, because this burlap ribbon, you can tear this apart and take strands off of it and tie it. But what I actually did, there is going to be a new product in the catalog that I kind of accidentally used early, and it's this jute ribbon, which will be available in the holiday catalog starting September 1st. So you can recreate that with a linen thread, but I really like this new jute ribbon, and it's really kind of nondescript. It's called jute twine, but I really like it. So I'm going to show you how I got this kind of single strand. The jute twine is actually made up of 3 strands, actually probably more strands, but 3 significant strands. So I cut about 8 inches of this twine, and then I just kind of untwist the end. That's the easiest way to get it to kind of go. Just untwist it with your fingers, and you can see there's 3 pieces that are kind of coming out, and then I just untwist them. So then you get kind of this twine, and this is going to be perfect for fall cards. And you could use it the regular thickness, or you could use it with just 2 strands, but I like to use it with 1 strand. It's got this rustic kind of look. It reminds me of a vineyard. So look for that in the catalog. I think it's great. I know it's kind of one of those products that meh, you might not get, and I have lost my glue dots. They are here somewhere. I don't know where. Just give me a second. Actually, you know what? I don't need to go grab them. Let me pretend I've put this little bow on a glue dot. I would put it right underneath the knot, and then I would add it to my card right here, down at the bottom. So that is the card, and it's pretty easy to make. It's got a real fall harvesty type look to it. So, you know, this, I just love this stamp set. It's kind of fun. And even though it's, I mean, some people don't drink alcohol, and that's fine. I certainly don't drink a lot of alcohol, but it's kind of like just a fun card. And some of the stamps in here, you know, they don't have to be alcoholic. Like this one is a non-alcoholic one. It's like a milkshake. Or this one right here could also be pink lemonade. So it's not necessarily just an alcohol set. Maybe some other greetings are, but it's fun. It's like every hour with you is a happy one. So, and then this one's You're So Sweet. I think those are both kind of cool. So that is that for the card. I'm going to scroll now and just like look through the comments and see if you guys had any questions. If you have any questions in the meantime, just please post them. I'm just going to scroll up and see what I missed while I was, okay. Oh yes, okay, I see some things that I need to mention. Okay, so good morning, Sandy and Lisa and Rails. I know how to pronounce your name. I think that's right, Rails. Thank you for saying hi, and thank you for letting me pronounce your name correctly. That was really cool that you posted. Good morning, Rita. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Jenny. And I think I got everyone. Janine, I think, posted somewhere, I missed it again, that it's like the, this one right here is the from the Eastern Palace Suite, because I can never remember the name of this, of all the different products we have, but these dies are from that Eastern Palace Suite, and it's just a beautiful die, but it didn't work for my card. So that's a great way to show you, you can substitute, you know. It's about a process. It's about starting with a card and then seeing where you go with it. So that's the cool thing about Casing Tuesday. Let me flip you guys around and flip myself back around. Sit down in the chair so I can be level with my camera. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Okay, so if you want to join us, make sure you join the Casing Tuesday Facebook group, and the link is in the description of the video. Measurements and the supply list for this card are on my blog. That link is also in the description. Let me see if there's anything I need to tell you. I will get to eventually sometime during the day, I'm going to load this video up on YouTube so you guys can see it, even though it won't be live anymore. You are welcome to join me every week on my live portion Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. And thank you so much for everyone that joined me today. It's so much more fun to be stamping while you're here. I sometimes get into a little bit more in depth of my thought process, into the nitty-gritty of taking things apart, like that jute twine ribbon that I was working with. So it's nice to be able to do that in a live environment. These videos are a little different than my normal YouTube videos where I really get straight to the point and I edit them. These videos, I just let them be live and kind of crazy and carefree. So I love that, and I love having you guys here. And thank you so much, and I will be back next Tuesday. You can't stop me. Next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and I hope to see you here too. So have a great day and keep stamping. Take care. Bye-bye.